So, where does this team stand right now? I think it sits in a decent spot considering the circumstances. Obviously, we love for this Padres team to have met expectations thus far into the season, and we would love for them to be 10 games over 500 instead of what, 4 games under right now, right? We would love that. But that's just not the case. And considering how they ended this pre-All-Star break stretch here, this homestand, I think you got to be pretty happy about the direction of the team. Things obviously could be better. I know that. They're still in 4th place in the NL West. They're still 8.5 games back of the Dodgers and the D-backs now, tied for first, I guess. 8.5 back in the division. And how far back are they in the wild card? Let's see here. 6 games back. So they made up a little bit of ground, but that's still a good amount. Like, they're still going to have to play really good baseball. Milwaukee's ahead of them. The Phillies are ahead of them. And the Giants. They got to beat all those teams to get the final wild card spot, right? So 3 teams ahead of them. I think they can beat Milwaukee. But, there's a big difference in the Padres record and the Brewers record right now. The Brewers are 7 games over 500. The Padres are 4 games under 500. That's a lot of. That's not like a 3-night thing where you can all of a sudden have the same record as the Milwaukee Brewers. It's going to take time, and the Brewers don't even hold the 3rd wild card spot, right? So, I understand Padres fans that are still frustrated, and don't get me wrong, I'm still frustrated with how the team played going into the All-Star break here. Just I'm talking about in totality, but this homestand was encouraging, and there is still time. This team has to play really good baseball, but there is still time to get back into this wild card race and still make the postseason. It still probably feels like a long shot, but the talent is still on this team. I don't think this team's going to make a ton of huge additions. In fact, I don't think they're going to make one huge addition at the deadline. The talent is here. They could add a reliever, make some moves on the margins, but I don't think they're going to make a huge move. There's no Shohei Ohtani move coming, Corbin Burns or anything like that. This is the team here. So they've just got to play better. And I think we've seen them. They've been playing better. They played better over the homestand. So I'm trying to look at it from that angle about where this team stands right now. I'm encouraged going into this All-Star break, but these next 10 games, this 10-game road trip through Philly, Toronto, and Detroit, that's going to tell us a lot about this team because there's no momentum. There's momentum, I guess, if you believe in it, and they play good in the Philly series, and they can use that momentum in Detroit and Toronto first, and then Detroit. But in terms of now, right, they had a good homestand, 5-1, could have been 6-0 if not for Friday's loss. But now there's 4 days off. So recharge. Are you a good baseball team or not? You can't rely on the momentum going into the Philadelphia series. You haven't played since Sunday, right? And it'll be Friday when they start that. And it's a 4-game series over 3 days. There's a scheduled doubleheader there. So some of these teams are good that they're going to be playing coming up. It's a long road trip. You don't have the fans to maybe give you that extra jolt of energy or whatever. So how are you going to do? I think it's going to tell us a lot about this team. And when they come back from that 10-game road trip, guess where this team's going to be? About a week away from the trade deadline. And AJ is probably going to be already having a ton of discussions with ownership, front office, coaching staff, other teams, obviously, about different moves. Moves don't happen usually, with one phone call, all of a sudden a deal is done. It takes time. So it's up to the players here to determine where they want to be when the trade deadline nears, when this team comes back home at the end of the month to, I believe, face off against the Pittsburgh Pirates.